are watching the Fantasy Football Show Week 11 Waiver Wire Ad Edition, where we break down all the players you need to be worried about picking up walking into Week 11. We don't have a huge list, and it's quite possible that the top two guys we talk about are nowhere near available in your league because you are a The Fantasy Football Show member, and we've been on top of it all year long, but also all off season long. But we're gonna mention the two top guys and then get a little bit deeper into the Week 11 waiver wire guys. Let's buckle up, get ready. You could drop some Week 11 questions my way, but first we're getting to the waiver wire stuff. Let's break it down. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show Week 11 Waiver Wire Edition, where we're breaking down who you need to grab walking into Week 11 on. And we've got a pretty decent list considering, I guess I would say. The fact that we have any names at all walking into Week 11 could be looked at as an amazing thing because, you know, each and every week, the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. But what we do have are a couple players with a particular set of skills they've acquired over a long career, skills that make them a nightmare for defenders like they faced this week. And number one overall by far and away is A.J. Dillon. If he's available in your league, first of all, shame on you. If he's available in your league, it's not working. The button's not working. Nothing's working. Son of a bee. Maybe we can restart the board here. Hold on a second. Why is every time I try to run this darn board, it doesn't work when I need it to work? What I was going to have you do is take a lap. Do we even have the audio?
Take a lap. Take a lap.
If for any reason
take a lap.
A.J. Dillon's available in your league, you need to
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
We've talked about this guy forever, okay? The best stash, the best put on your bench and wait, sleeping giant, win a league player, a guy that's just dormant, waiting to just explode. He's been flex worthy. Get Dillon to the chopper. Get him to the chopper now. Get down. Dillon, you go to the chopper, young man. You have just been Smitty approved. Do we have that? Do we have anything?
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's right, A.J. Dillon. You've just been Smitty approved. Do we have this one now? There we go. Hold on, let's just redo this. If A.J. Dillon's available in your league, how is A.J. Dillon available in a shocking 33% of all leagues? And that includes Dynasty, you know, which is going to make a redraft number higher if you could filter out the Dynasty. It's crazy how he can be available in literally over 33% of leagues. That is insane. That is crazy. That is not okay. Not if you're a viewer and member of this community, the Fantasy Football Show. So let's just say it, okay? Not likely available for a lot of you because you have big, massive brains on top of your neck. And A.J. Dillon better not be there or you literally are taking a lap. If A.J. Dillon's available in your league, please tell me so we can put your comment on screen and relish in the idea of being able to add this guy on waivers. Okay, number two, I told everyone to pick this guy up number one last week. Was it number one or number two? I think it was number one. If this man's available and you didn't grab him and store him safely nestled away on your bench, waiting to be injected into the lineup, which we knew may or may not happen this week because he got kicked in the head, was in the concussion protocol. We didn't know if he was actually going to play in this week, but with Damien Harris out, we were waiting, hoping for the last minute news. We got the call. We knew he was going. And I heard a lot of people say, oh, but we didn't know he was playing. Yes, we did. I talked about it all morning. And I have a little clip that I can share with you. If I could, I can't share it right now because I just took off my Wi-Fi. I was going to transfer the files. We did a whole morning show on Instagram, and we talked about him all morning long for the entire 1 hour. It was in my defense, okay? It was CeeDee Lamb, pumping up CeeDee Lamb, pumping up Ramondre Stevenson, and then, of course, Mike White. Let's talk about Mike White for a second and get that out of the way. I'm sorry. I can't be perfect, all right? And I miss a lot too. Let's be honest. We all miss. We're all human beings. As Mom said, growing up, I'm doing the best I can. And I didn't get Mike White this week. I still like him, okay? And it's weird that people don't give him the benefit of the doubt like they would Mack Jones all year. He's like a rookie. I know he's not a rookie technically speaking, but he's never played. This is his second game that he's actually started and played. Mack Jones gets all, and we got him right here. Mack Jones gets all this time to develop and mature, but everybody's ready to write off Mike White like that, no matter what. And it was a tough matchup, and I got excited, and I probably sent a lot of people in the direction to maybe play him with a bye week or a QB injury, and I'm sorry for that. I miss big. I may have hit a home run with Stevenson. I may have hit a home run with a few other things, but I did miss big on Mike White, and I want to take accountability for that. I don't want you guys to think I'm just out here patting myself on the back all the time. I miss a lot of stuff. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire this year. He's coming back next week, by the way. Get on your horse, Clyde. I miss all the time. It happens, and I'm sorry I don't go over it more. It's not me trying to run away from it. I'm taking accountability. I got extra excited about Mike White, and he failed us. But I still hope he gets a chance because I really do believe in him. I'm not just blowing smoke. It was a little high expectation of me for him to march into Buffalo and just destroy them. A.J. Dillon Stevenson, number 1, number 2 on your waiver wire. There is no debating. There's no equivocation. There's no ignoring the fact that A.J. Dillon could win you a league. Now let's talk about Aaron Jones for a second, okay? Aaron Jones. Let me put this on screen here so people know what we're talking. I'm trying to stay more organized with the show, okay? I want people to know what's going on. Aaron Jones. Let's talk about Aaron Jones real quick. Aaron Jones, MCL tear. Or sprain, however you want to define it. Aaron Jones. Hold on. Aaron Jones, MCL. Your MCL is right here, okay? You got your patellar tendon right here. I tore this bad boy. I tore my LCL. I tore my ACL, which is in the middle. You've got your PCL. I've never tore that. But we still got time. I still got a few years to do it. So we might get the not the trifecta, the quin. What is it? What's a 5? What's a fiver? Instead of a trifecta, what's it called? A quintuplet? What is it? Maybe I can get them all. But your MCL is right here. The problem, this big bad boy right here. The problem with a guy like Aaron Jones, okay, a guy like Aaron Jones, is that MCL is the most painful of them all. When I tore my knee back in early 2000s, I tore my left knee, tore my ACL, LCL, MCL, meniscus. Didn't tear my patellar tendon on that one. But I stepped like this, someone shoved me in the back, and I tore it like that. And I stretched the MCL pretty badly, damaged the LCL. The MCL I didn't need surgery on, and this could be the case with Aaron Jones, like a grade 2, like where it's bad. You're out 4 to potentially 8 weeks if it's a grade 2 or if it's something of that severity. If it's a grade 1, if it's something like it's very, very minor, It's more so he's done this before. It's very easily injured, and he has just a tiny little tear. They said, hey, let's get him off it right now. We know what this could turn into with his history of MCL tears. So let's get him off the field right away. That's why they ruled him out right away. They could have ruled him out right away to avoid potentially getting into the grade 2 area. We don't know. No one knows as of right now. And I'm going to keep refreshing the news to make sure that doesn't break while we're on the show here. My fear with Aaron Jones, who is very injury prone, and this is why it was critical, 100% a must. I'm going to get to the super chats. Don't worry, guys. So hang tight. I'm not ignoring them. I'm just flowing with the show. MCLs, the problem with it, he's such an injury-prone guy. He's tore both of them before. I believe one of them multiple times. I don't know if it was the right one, which I believe he tore this time. This one's, it's gone through the ringer. It's gone through the ringer, this MCL. And the problem is, I'm going to suspect that because he's had history with it before, this isn't an itty-bitty, tiny, barely grade 1. I'm not saying he tore it completely, which would be the grade 3, I believe, where it snaps. We're talking about a grade 2 probably, because of the history, because of the susceptibility to the MCL. We're probably looking at, I would say, in a best case scenario, and I'm totally guessing, I'm speculating, I'm putting on my non-doctor hat, because even though Smitty, your man Smitty's been doing this 19 years professionally. No, I'm not some newbie. I've been playing fantasy way over 19 years, but I've been doing this, reporting on injuries coming in, injuries going out, rookies coming in, rookies going out. I've been reporting on the whole entire package that is fantasy football, from injuries to rookies to veterans to rankings to dynasty to trades, for 19 straight years. So I've seen a lot. So I may not be a doctor. I don't have a doctorate. I have a master's, but it's not in medicine. It's not in medicine. I have a psych degree. Okay? I could psychoanalyze the knee. But I have a lot of experience with watching players get banged up, observing the timetables, getting injured myself. I'm a walking knee injury myself. I know a lot about knee injuries. I have a gut feeling, and I could be wrong, this is my gut, that this MCL is going to keep him out probably a minimum of 4 weeks, if I had to guess. Unless they caught, which is unlikely, but unless they caught this thing when it started feeling that grade 1 kind of feeling, and they got him out of there quick because they knew what they're dealing with. My guess is he didn't have that kind of time. My guess is the man's looking at a potential grade 2. My guess is the man is going to be out at least 4 weeks. This is a 4 to 8 week potential injury if it is a grade 2, and that MCL is, not torn, but it's not a grade 1. It's not an itty-bitty tiny little injury. And the reason it's grade 2, in my opinion, is because of the susceptibility to this man's knee based on previous MCL injuries. If he's out, the man named Aaron Jones, if he's out for 4 to 6 weeks, let's say, this man right here, named A.J. Dillon, a super handcuff, a dormant win-a-league sleeping giant on your bench. If this man is in there for 4 to 6 weeks, you have yourself a top 10 running back. You have yourself a guy that can get you what he did today, which was well over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Am I correct? It was two scores, right? 2 scores. 100 yards, 2 scores, total yards. This man can get you 100 total yards. I mean, think about it. He's filling the role of Aaron Jones, who lived in PPR production and running back production simultaneously, like a Camaro workload, a Christian McCaffrey-esque workload to a smaller degree yardage-wise, but it's Alvin Kamara-like. It's 120 yards on the ground one game. It's 85 yards receiving another game. If Aaron Jones, or now A.J. Dillon, gets phased out for like maybe, let's say, 20 to 30, maybe gets phased out of the rushing game because they need to pass, and he gets 20 or 30 yards on the ground, guess what? A.J. Dillon is capable of being the guy that can get you 80 receiving yards and a touchdown through the air. He fits it perfectly. He fills this void ASAP. They throw to him. They run to him. They give him all the volume. A.J. Dillon doesn't need to have a full season to walk into and carry the weight of a starting running back. We don't know if he could handle 18 games. We do know that A.J. Dillon, as long as he's not banged up right now too, is something we don't know about. But A.J. Dillon should be able to start weeks 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever he's asked to do. It's a short little tiny season for him to get a full volume, a full course meal. He will be fine. Aaron Jones, MCL, right here. It is the most painful injury of these injuries, in my opinion, because I tore my ACL, I tore my MCL, I tore my LCL. My MCL was painful for years after tearing it, even to this day. Literally about not 2 decades away. I tore my ACL well over a decade ago. To this day, sometimes I'll have pain. My MCL will have pain from that tear that I had because I had such a bad grade 2 tear. It's crazy. It's not something you come back from quick. It could easily take him out 4 to 6 weeks. So prayers up for him. I hope that it's not a grade 2, but it likely will be. So we will see. Let me pull up Aaron Jones news. He suffered an MCL in week 10 against the Seahawks and will undergo further testing. Jones was quickly declared. Let me put this on screen so you guys can read along with me, because some of you are asking about it as if you hadn't seen it yet. So let's get this report on screen and let's go over it together. Here we go. Aaron Jones suffered a sprained MCL in week 10 against the Seahawks, will undergo further testing. So Jones was quickly declared out for the rest of the game following the third quarter knee injury, which left him in tears as he exited the team's blue medical tent. Now, this is key here, okay? And I see your super chats. I'm going to get to them in a minute. Don't worry. This is key here. You're not going to be in, I know I'm speculating here and I'm trying to make a lot up without knowing a whole lot of factual information. This is educated guessing time, okay? And that's what I do. And I'm going to tell you when it's educated guessing. I'm not going to speak as if it's fact. I'm going to warn you, hey, I'm using my 19 years here to try and paint a picture. And that's all I got. We don't have any results to attest. But when you cry, and I'm not clowning on the crying part at all. Don't take this out of context. But when you're crying, or you have tears in your eyes, or you're emotionally flustered to a point where you are losing control of the moment and not saying, okay, I'm going to be okay, waving to the crowd, you get into the tunnel and then you kind of let it go there. If you literally can't control yourself to the tunnel and you're showing tremendous emotion and distress and you're upset, typically something very bad has happened. If Aaron Jones was in tears, like this report says, there is a very, very strong likelihood, very strong, that it's minimum grade 2 tear. I mean, it's right here, that he exited, which left him in tears as he exited the team's blue medical tent. That to me, with the existing already, the injury history with the MCL, even to this specific knee, he's had MCL issues with. That tells me if he's in tears that he's concerned beyond concern that he's going to miss significant time if he didn't completely tear it. And the other key, they ruled him out right away. This wasn't been ruled out. It was immediately done. MCL knee injury. They knew that right away. Usually you don't hear stuff like that. So this is bad. And you hopefully own A.J. Dillon. And if you do, you're probably not going to miss that much of a beat because of how good A.J. Dillon is. And for all of you crafty mofos out there, and you're all part of the Fantasy Football Show community. I know, because we all train together here at the Combine known as the Fantasy Football Show Combine. We train together, and I know a lot of you, most of you own A.J. Dillon, regardless of whether you own Aaron Jones. And I know that a majority of you, if not all of you, will own them together if you did draft Aaron Jones. So, smart job for most of you and or all of you that have cuffed the two, and even more astute of my students out there that own this man and this man alone, because it was the craftiest stash move you could make in 2021. And I started him on a bunch of leagues this week. I see Austin did too. There were a lot of injuries. I had players out, bye weeks. I started A.J. Dillon in like 7 leagues, and he cleaned up in week number 10 and didn't even get the full go. So congrats to those that have Dillon. I'm not trying to dance around an injury. We're not excited someone got hurt, but we're a fantasy football show. Okay, I'm not here to talk about feelings and let's be sensitive. Let's give it a day of mourning, or it's fantasy football. Okay, there's an objective here, and I can say congrats to people that own A.J. Dillon. That's not insensitive. That's not what this show is. This show is about fantasy football rankings, predictions, and getting you guys to the championship. Not about, hey, let's all, sing Kumbaya and wait before we talk about what's going on with A.J. Dillon, or before we say anything positive about A.J. Dillon because we're going to offend somebody. This is fantasy football. Is Christian McCaffrey hurt again? He did go to the tent as well, which, I don't know about you, Mark, but I love McCaffrey, and if McCaffrey stays healthy, he will become a top 5 pick in 2022, but will he stay healthy? He already went to the tent. He looked like he was hurting bad, and then he came back into the game, though. So currently McCaffrey's not technically injured per se, but he definitely had to leave the game, was in the medical tent, was stretching out. I don't know if it was the hamstring or what was going on. It appeared to be the hamstring, and he was trying to get it loose. If that thing's if that injury's creeping back up, man, we're in trouble with Christian McCaffrey. And keep an eye on McCaffrey all week, because this could be one of those things where it's injured. He played on it, adrenaline. Who knows if they did anything like a shot. But then once he comes out, once he rests, the injury starts to set in, and then he goes out there, practices, it's still hurting him, and then he sits out a week. Even though he played on it, he sits out a week. Like, that could happen. I don't trust him fully. I don't trust him. Let's get back to the waiver wire stuff, then go to the super chats. A.J. Dillon clears day number 1 waiver wire grab, and you should be near ashamed of yourself if he's sitting on your waiver wire right now, because you've been told all year long, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. A.J. Dillon, running back 1. Pick him up. Come on. A.J. Dillon, running back 1. Pick him up. Pick him up. All year long, I've been telling you to pick up the man known as A.J. Dillon, the beast. What do we name? What's his nickname? We got to come up with an A.J. Dillon nickname. I don't know. What? Somebody give me a good A.J. Dillon nickname. We need to coin something right now. Ramondre Stevenson, by far the top pickup of the week in normal scenarios where A.J. Dillon is not sitting on your waiver wire. And Ramondre Stevenson, you need to be a little ashamed of yourself as well if he's on your waiver wire, because I told you to pick him up last week. He was number, I believe, 1 or 2. I think 1, if anybody can remember. Log legs, Dill, Quesadilla. Is that what we're calling him? Quesadilla? Quesadillon. You should be ashamed of yourself if Stevenson's on your waiver wire. I'm just being honest, okay? Take a lap. Why? Because I told you to pick him up and wait. He was worth the wait. Stevenson was a monster in waiting. An absolute monster. Quesadilla. Are we calling him Quesadilla, or are we going to call him Quesadillon? I don't know. Quesadilla. We'll call him Quesadilla for right now. Quesadilla is the man. Ramondre Stevenson is also the man. Big Dilly. I like Big Dilly better. I'm sorry. Sonny's got it. Dillon. Dill Daddy. Dilly. P. Dilly. I like Dilly Dally. I like Big Dilly. Big Dilly's good, Sonny. Big Dilly and Dill Daddy. Dill Daddy's pretty good. We're gonna have to vote. Are we calling him Dill Daddy or Big Dilly? I think Big Dilly's better. Dill Pickle. No. Big Dill. Big Dilly. Big Stevenson. Okay. Just a sleeping giant. This man did nothing but showcase to you his talent in the preseason. And if anybody ignored that and didn't remember what he looked like in the preseason, it was like a monster. He looked like the chupacabra. And this guy, we're gonna start calling Stevenson the chupacabra. This guy is a monster. This guy's a monster waiting to happen. It was just waiting to happen. And he got kicked in the head, was in the concussion protocol. People didn't know if he was going to start. I hit IG. I should have did more YouTube content, and that's on me too. Like, I whiffed on two big things this week. Hitting my YouTube community and the Spotify community with more Ramondre Stevenson video content, and I hit Instagram really hard with it. We went all hour talking about Stevenson being the biggest and best start of the week, and I'm sorry I didn't put more on YouTube about that. But Stevenson, make sure, he was on my number one waiver wire ad on YouTube last week, though. But I should have hit it all week and just kept pounding it and beating a dead horse, but I didn't. On YouTube, that is. So Tyreek Hill's a beast. So Big Dilly, Stevenson. Number 3, if I had to pull out a player, I'll probably say Ino Benjamin. And this is going to sound like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm going to get to the Super Chat. Sam, thank you for the Super Chat. I'm just going to get through the waiver wire stuff and then get to the Super Chats. I got to have a little format with the show. But you're in waiting, bro. You're in the queue. Good job. I've got you locked in, so hang tight. Any Super Chatters, wait. I'm coming to your rescue in a second. Ino Benjamin, I like as the third pickup this week. Why? Smitty, why would you? Smitty, I don't understand. He didn't do anything, and Arizona looked awful. Arizona didn't run the football. James Conner didn't even get carries, Smitty. Why would we pick up Ino Benjamin? Are you really going to judge the Cardinals without their two best players in Hopkins and Kyler? Are we really going to have a conversation about workload, amount of carries, what we saw on this Sunday here, this miserable Cardinal football Sunday that my 8-1 Cardinals take a big L and look like crap against the man right here, Cam Newton? Are we really going to actually speak to the way that game unfolded as if it has anything to do with what the Cardinals are going to do go forward? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What I can tell you is the Cardinals know how to run the football. What I can tell you is the Cardinals have Kyler Murray eventually coming back. I'm going to guess it's going to be this upcoming week after that lambasting they took. They got lammed. The Cardinals got lammed by Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers, and you can bet your bottom dollar that if Kyler was really close to coming back in this Week 10 outing, he's definitely coming back in the next contest. So the Cardinals are going to absolutely get him back in the groove walking into the upcoming contest. So let me also put the bye weeks on the board here for everybody so we can all take a look at when we're speaking about these players, the upcoming buys, and we'll get to that. I have other names on the list. We're going to sort those out in a second. I'm going to get to the Super Chats after that. Let me go to the Week 11 matchups and put the bye weeks on screen. There's only 2 bye weeks, I believe, next week. It's the Broncos and the Rams. So here are the buys for week number 11, just so you guys have that information. It's right here. Week 11 bye weeks. Why is Ino Benjamin here? The Cardinals use 2 running backs. The Cardinals run the ball very well. They run the ball as good as anybody, not in terms of volume, but the way they do it. They score touchdowns. I believe Connor had 11 TDs coming into this game in 10 games. No, 9 games. 11 TDs in 9 games. Ino Benjamin walks into a role that Edmonds had, or you could say he's taking Connor's role and Connor's taking Edmonds' role, or whatever, however you want to look at it. But Ino Benjamin's going to be very useful. And just like we were preparing for Ramondre Stevenson, and I said pick him up, stash him. Just like we were preparing with A.J. Dillon when he wasn't yet really in the conversation of being a win a league player. He was a sleeping giant win a league player. What happened? What happened? A.J. Dillon rose up, but you were prepared and you were waiting for it. What happened with Stevenson? You were prepared, you put him in, and boom. Same thing's going to happen, I think, with Benjamin. I love James Conner. James Conner looks really, really good, and I don't care about this week. Ignore this week. This week was just an outlier. He's going to continue to rush for touchdowns and look really good, but he's very injury prone. This guy, Ino Benjamin, just like Ramondre Stevenson, just like A.J. Dillon, do you recognize the pattern here? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because I want to really emphasize that this doesn't look like these two options right now. But Stevenson didn't look like Stevenson before week 10 kicked off. And now look at him. Ino Benjamin doesn't look like much right now. He's one injury away with Edmonds on IR. And who knows if he'll be ready when he comes off IR, or if they'll keep him on longer, or what's going on with Edmonds. He's very injury prone. So is Conner. He is one injury away from being a touchdown machine. And he's a good little running back, man. This guy's got talent. And they might utilize him a little more than they utilize Conner and Edmonds, because they kind of look at Edmonds and Conner as two different skill sets. We're going to ground and pound with Conner. We're going to use Edmonds kind of in a shiftier fashion, but we're going to use Conner up the gut. Edmonds will knife and get touchdowns too, but he'll be more of like a draw type running back play usage, where you're going to put Conner in there when you want to get the tough yards. Benjamin can do kind of it all. And if for any reason Conner goes down, I don't think they'll do what they plan to do with Benjamin and Conner, which is still use Benjamin kind of like they used Edmonds, or like they used Conner, and now they're using Conner like they used Edmonds, whatever. I think they would lean everything on Benjamin's shoulders and let him carry the workload. So I'm just telling you right now, this guy needs to be grabbed. And I don't care how good some of these guys might look as ads. I'm more about trying to predict and see ahead of the curve, and Benjamin feels like a potential league winner. If Conner went down, he could walk you into the playoffs, because the volume's going to be there. Now, next up, I'm going to probably say, you could say Ingram, you could say Cam, you could say Trey Lance. Be crafty about this one, because you can still pick up Lance right now. The game hasn't happened yet. If you've got a guy in a bye that's garbage, or an empty bench spot for some reason, whatever, you can pick up Trey Lance right now. You can also pick up Mooney, who I'm going to put number 4. Why? Mooney's available in 45% of leagues. 45% of leagues, Mooney's available. Mooney can be added right this very second. You can go and pick him up right now without waiting. If you've got an empty spot or a garbage player that was on a bye, you can pick up Mooney right now. And he's available, what did I say? 45% of all leagues. And Fields is going to get cooking. He targets Mooney the most. He loves Mooney the most. Mooney could be a wide receiver 3 secret weapon walking in to the remainder of the season. Go pick up Mooney. And A-Rob's getting dropped everywhere. And I know if you dropped him, you're done with him. You're just done with him. You're not waiting on him. But I'm going to pick up A-Rob. And the same thing applies. He hasn't played yet this week, so you can pick him up right now. These two guys aren't bad wide receivers to add to the end of your bench, especially Mooney. But A-Rob's crafty, because what if he's been dealing with an injury? He got targeted pretty well. Had a decent week 8 outing, or week 9 outing. He did okay. And so I'm kind of intrigued by adding A-Rob and just seeing what happens 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. We've seen Gibson stay dormant all year, and now is finally coming out of his shell. Mooney is available in 45% of leagues, DK. I was shocked when I stumbled upon that number. 45% of leagues. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think Mack Jones would be next. I think depending on what's going on with Kamara, you could put Ingram there. Cam is interesting. Cam scores touchdowns. Trey Lance is going to eventually be in the lineup, and you want to maybe make that move like the A-Rob and Mooney move now before the Monday night game if you can pick up Trey Lance, because think about it. Everyone's going to be scrambling to the waiver wire, and if for any reason people start getting a hint that Mooney's there, or other people start talking about the fact that this guy's available in so many leagues, someone might grab him. You can grab him now if you have the spot to burn. Trey Lance, same thing. If you pick him up now and put him on your bench, and let's say Jimmy G gets hurt, Lance comes in and tears it up in the second half of this Monday night game coming up tomorrow, or today, by the time you see this, everyone's going to be waiting in line. You could potentially grab him now. Other players to mention walking into this week, I would say Jamal Agnew, 90% of leagues he's available. Kendrick Bourne, available in 90% of leagues. Hunter Henry, available in 25. Jordan Howard, available in 50. Matt Breida, available in 98% of leagues. We don't really know what to make of his usage. He didn't get a ton of work, but he had good efficiency, touchdown. Dan Arnold, available in 75% of leagues. And that's about it. That's the waiver wire. Unless I'm missing somebody, let me know. Someone said Bateman or Mooney. I'd probably go Mooney. So that's the week number 11 waiver wire waiver wire ads. Week 11. Learn about it. Now let's get to these super chats that these guys have been patiently waiting. James has been waiting like just completely with the most patience I've seen. These guys aren't complaining. Absolutely appreciate the super chats. Absolutely appreciate you getting in line with your super chats. Let's drop them on screen. Let's answer them. Do it live. We might even do a couple voice messages and then answer any other questions you guys have. Do some kind of rapid fire. James Devlin needs desperate help. I need extreme help, says James Devlin. James, I'm going to have to get to these, and then I'll look and see if I can help you out. Overcome. 180 points. Oh, yeah, says Overcome. Overcome, thank you for the super chat. Here's another one from Overcome. Started Collins over Ayuk. What did Collins end up finishing with? Did he do anything? He was a tough play. It was tough to know what Collins was going to do. That was a stale game. That was a very, very bad game. But what did Collins finish with? My screen, for whatever reason, is not loading. Of course, I have to restart my computer at some point. Ayuk, I'd rather have Ayuk, of course. Live and learn. Terry and Gesicki for Chase. I have Logan Thomas. Terry and Gesicki for Chase. Give me Jamar Chase all day long. Probably the most talked about player. Grant says he loves the channel. Grant, the channel loves you, bro. The channel loves you. And of course, Jordan Roberts was the first one here. I want to put his comment on screen. Jordan's an OG. And thank you for being here. Mark Cleveland also in the house. Mark Cleveland, what's up, my man? Appreciate Mark Cleveland. He's an OG as well. And Tanner's becoming a little bit of an OG. Joel's an OG. You guys are beasts, man. Sonny, Funkadelic, you're all awesome.
Something went wrong.
Ziggy, shut up. Ziggy. No. Terry and Gesicki for Jamar Chase. Do it. You're going to see me talk about Jamar Chase more than I think any other player walking into week number 11. If you can still trade, and about half of you can, maybe a little more than half of you can. This is the main week of deadlines. About, I don't know, maybe 30% of people had a deadline last week. Hard to kind of know. But I'm going to be pushing Jamar Chase in week 11 as a final, go-get player because he could win you a league. This guy's going to look so good. I predict Jamar Chase, he's going through like a little rookie. I told you, rookies go up and down. They always have a bunch of big games, and then the elite ones are going to have a little lull. They'll drop a little bit, and then they explode back. I believe Jamar Chase is going to have one of those 178-yard, 2 or 3 TD games, and then a couple 100-yard games with a touchdown. It's going to make people vault this guy almost way too high. Like, maybe we don't even want to draft him in 2022 because people are going to want to first round this guy. They're going to want to first round stamp him. I'm not saying I won't take him there. I'm just telling you, get ready to pay the price in 2022. People are going to be so excited by this guy's finish. He's going to finish on a tear. If you want a wide receiver that's a tiny bit cheaper than he should be, that can be a top, 1 to 5 guy in the remaining games, Ja'Marr Chase is the player to grab as he builds this rapport and gets a stronger connection and rapport with Burrow. And as Burrow gets better, as his offense gets better, as his entire team gets better, I absolutely love Ja'Marr Chase, and I'll be talking about him so much in the coming 5-6 days. Get ready for it. It's going to be a whole bunch of beating a dead horse talking about this man. Go do this trade. I love it. That's a fantastic move. Rock Out says, my worst injury was a broken collarbone, says Rock Out. That's a bad injury. It's a bad injury, but I've tore up a bunch, bro. Collarbone's still bad, and that can reoccur if you don't heal it right. If you're like going down a slide as a kid and you're not listening to the doctor, that can really, you can have to go in and put a plate there if you don't keep that thing. It doesn't heal proper. Yo, Schmitty did this trade. Hopkins and Connor for Diggs and Javonte, currently 7-2. So you traded Hopkins and Connor for Diggs and Javonte. That could go either way, especially with Connor being, and I don't care about this week. Everyone's going to freak out about this week. I don't care. Connor's still going to be good going forward. But I love Ino Benjamin. I've got him number 3. Pick him up, and maybe you end up still with a Cardinal starter WRM at some point. But Hopkins is banged up. We don't really know if he's going to be 100% anytime very soon. So I hope he is. I'm going to trade for him. I'm buying low on Hopkins, but I don't hate that people are selling high on him and Connor still, or maybe they aren't anymore. Connor could be a good buy low, but Hopkins and Connor for Diggs and Javonte, that could work out really, really nicely. And for those that watched the Javonte Williams game, the Denver game, Javonte broke off a long touchdown run, an amazing little run, and it got called back, and it was just depressing to watch this man look special again and just have it get taken away from him. Denver is just wasting this man's talent. I know Gordon looks okay at times, but what Gordon can do, Javonte can do better. So there's no excuse for it. We start in Stevenson Thursday, though. Thursday thoughts going forward. We're starting Stevenson. That's what we do. We aren't. Let's see. Thursday at Atlanta. Of course we are. We're starting Stevenson. Now, maybe Bill Belichick says something. Harris comes back. Stevenson maybe gets banged up in practice. We'll have to revisit this, of course. But as of right now, Stevenson is a locked-in running back 2 and a monster. Big Dilly is a running back 1. A.J. Dillon, Big Dilly, the Dill Daddy, the Dill Monster, is a locked-in running back 1 going forward, because I believe we're going to hear this MCL news is going to come back probably at least a 4 to 6 week. It could be longer. Maybe he tore it. I don't know. Maybe he tore it beyond the grade 2 or in between the 2 and the 3. The fact that he was in tears coming out of the tent, it's not like you're going into the tent crying. And I'm not clowning on the crying part. I'm just trying to express the emotion he was having. The emotion tells us a story of how bad the injury is. But to go in crying and to come out not crying, that would leave us confused. To come out, the report is he came out of the tent crying, tears in his eyes. And we feel for him, feel bad for him. It's not a bad thing to cry if you're in pain from an injury. It's very painful. The MCL is very painful, but he was, I believe, crying emotionally based, not pain based, because he knows what's ahead. He's tore his MCL, I believe, 3 different times. And so he knows what he's looking at. And he probably knows, based on the pain of that MCL and the doctor looking at it in the tent, that he's probably looking at a long amount of time off, like at least to the 4 to 6 week degree. So we'll find out more. But of course we're starting Stevenson, and attaboy for owning him, bro. You Smitty approved. I mean, this is why he was number 1. I believe he was 1 or 2 last weekend. He was on the ad drop list for weeks, but I believe I had him number 1 last week as the add and hold because of this reason. And it's the same reason I like Ino Benjamin to prepare, thinking ahead. He's one injury away behind a very injury-prone James Conner, who I love, and I still buy low, but Ino Benjamin is going to follow the same path and track that Stevenson did. But, boy, is A.J. Dillon and Stevenson.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Them bad boys are absolutely Smitty approved. Sam with the super chat. Please rate my team. QB Hurts, Najee, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Gibson, who looked like he might be back. I don't know if he's back or not. Do you guys think Gibson's back against one of the best, if not the best, rushing defense in the NFL? Dude has a touchdown. Looked pretty sharp. Well over 12 points total. Looking good. I'm liking me some Gibson right now, but I'd love to know what you guys think about Gibson. I'll do the panic meter this week. Don't worry. The panic room. We're gonna do the panic chamber. Get ready for that. Hurts. Okay, so Hurts, Najee, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Gibson, Michael Carter, Damien Harris, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Hollywood, Antonio Brown, Judy, Renfro, Van Jefferson, Kittle, Schultz. I like your team. I would definitely say that you can make a move or two to make this a dangerous team. I would sell high on Kittle before he gets hurt and then put Schultz in. I would rather go that route, and especially if Kittle has another good game. If he doesn't have a good game, maybe you can't sell him. Maybe you still can. Keep Tyreek. Keep Keenan Allen, because he's not going to be able to be sold high. Hollywood and Kittle. Hollywood and Kittle for... what wide receiver could you go after right now? Hollywood and Kittle for Jamar Chase. Hollywood and Kittle for Jamar Chase. Do it. Sam, that's the answer, bro. Hollywood and Kittle for Jamar Chase, bro. Do it. Do it live. Do it now. Throw in Michael Carter if you have to. Get it done. That will put your team in unbelievable, untouchable contention, bro. That's what you got to do, bro. I'm feeling that. Otherwise, go after, CeeDee Lamb. How are you going to get CeeDee Lamb? How are you going to get CeeDee?
Get lambed.
Get lambed. How are you going to get CeeDee Lamb at this point? I don't think anybody's going to get rid of CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, when you watch him play, he's untapped. He's like a video game player that has like certain skills locked. Like he can only run forward and backward or something. And you're just waiting for the code to unlock this man so that CeeDee Lamb can go all over the field. It's like, it's watching him is like he doesn't even know how good he is. He's untapped. He's not even ready to be CeeDee Lamb yet. I don't know what it's like to be CeeDee Lamb and not be ready and fully aware of what kind of CeeDee Lamb you're going to become. What kind of CeeDee Lamb will he become? I don't know. Will he be a top 1 to 3 wide receiver? Is it Lamb and Jamar Chase? Is it Chase and Lamb and Jefferson? These are potentially my top 3 wide receivers for the future. In order, I might go Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, or Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Lamb. That might be my top 3 wide receivers going forward, and you can bet your bottom dollar that your man Smitty is going to drop all kinds of Dynasty content your way. Is probably kicking off on December 1. We're going to get Dynasty crazy up in this mug, and we're going to be doing wide receivers. We're going to be doing all kinds of running back rankings, talking about the rookies in January. On January 1, I drop all my rookie content. So December 1, Dynasty rankings, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, breaking down the Dynasty guys, who to trade for, and then, January 1, the rookie running back rankings and the rookie running back analysis, the rookie wide receivers, all that stuff's going to drop. It's going to get crazy up in this mug. And we're only, we're like 15, 16, 17 days away from December 1. So Dynasty content's on the way, boys. It's on the way. Get ready. But I love this team. But you can make it a 9 out of 10, bro, with that one small move. Do it live, bro. I appreciate your super chat. Please keep them coming. You guys help keep the show running. Please hit the thumbs up on the way in the door. Please punch it. Lamb that thumb up button. Joel says, lamb the like button now. And Terry's repeating it. Lamb based that like button and show your man Smitty some love, and it helps the channel grow. We're almost at 10K, and it's because of you guys. It's because of you guys hitting that thumbs up button. It helps me tremendously. What about CD Lamb, Smitty? Lamb basted? What about Lamb?
Get lambed.
Get lambed, broskies. Get absolutely lambed. I'm lambed. Are you lambed? 82 likes, says Terry. We have 240 to 270 people in here constantly. Only 82 likes. Punch it. Punch it. Andy, super chat. Brett, super chat. Kevin, super chat. Let me drag these bad boys on screen. James, I appreciate your super chat as well. The Stevenson comment. Just started watching Smitty take a lap for not having the take a lap button working. I know. I got it now though, bro. Look. Take a lap. So we're good. We're back. It's functioning. I don't know what was going on with it. Appreciate you. Kevin, did Ramondre take the starting job? I played against the Henry owner and told him I was going to Ramondre Henderson him this week, and you certainly did that, Kevin. You Ramondre lambed him, bro. And I don't know. I mean, he should take over, but Damien Harris, we don't know what Bill's going to do. Bill Belichick's weird. Come on! Bill Belichick's weird, bro. And he may potentially, have other plans. But for right now, bro, Thursday night, plug him in, get him ready. We'll talk about it. If something changes, I'll certainly let you know my feeling. Does Robbie Anderson have value now that Cam is back? Potentially, like wide receiver 4, 5, 6 value, sure. Andy, I have a quarterback dilemma. 2 QB league, Ryan Tannehill, Cam, Lamar, and Taysom Hill. What 3 should I keep? Started Stevenson, good looking out. Attaboy, Andy. He started Stevenson. That's the look of a man right there. That blank avatar. A man that started Ramondre Stevenson. He is so beet red or orange with excitement. His picture vanished. What 2 QB league? What 3 should you keep? I mean, obviously Lamar. Probably Matt Ryan. I don't know if Cam or Tannehill I would keep. I suppose I would probably keep Tannehill because we don't really know what Cam's future holds. So I'd say Ryan and Lamar and Tannehill, but I assume you get to decide this later. So if Cam starts balling out and looking good, then we'll reassess that, Andy. But I think for right now, we're assuming a lot about Cam right now. And there's a reason he's been bouncing around. Can he stay consistent? He usually like Fitzpatrick, looks really good wherever he goes for just a little bit, and then he just tails off. So I don't know for sure how I feel about him future-wise. But for right now, I'm excited about Cam. In a 2 QB league, he needs to be grabbed. He needs to be rostered. He needs to be owned. Cam is a guy that can do pretty decent things in a 2 QB league from a redraft perspective. He could be a really strong quarterback too in a 2 QB league. Chris Carson worth holding on to, I suppose, bro, but I don't really know how I feel about him. I'm indifferent, and if you've got like a Stevenson or a Dillon or even a Benjamin, probably not, bro. I mean, Benjamin's questionable for Carson, but I mean, I would go with the upside of Benjamin and hope that he becomes Ramondre Stevenson. So it depends on who you drop, but yeah, he's worth holding or dropping depending on what you got going on your team. I had CeeDee Lamb in my lineups as well. Attaboy, Kevin. Joel Lammett. Lost my league by less than a point because of Russ. Sorry, bro. There are a lot of players. It was like a half really good week and a half really bad week. It was kind of strange how it all kind of unfolded. They changed Lamb's last catch to a run, dropped him under 100 yards receiving, and lost the bonus. Did they really change that? I'll have to look when my browser. I have to restart everything. He gets no targets now that Judy is back. I'm not sure who you're talking about here. Cam has been on 2 teams. Fitzpatrick has been on 100. Cam hasn't been on 2 teams. Mark Cleveland. Appreciate you, Mark. Did Cordero Patterson have a high injury, or they just taking him out? Goldman looked good. Rock out with a super chat. Thank you, Rock out, for the super chat. Good buddy, appreciate you. Let me read yours in a second. Let me go to Cordero Patterson and see what we're looking at. I don't know if there is any updates on anything that I've seen, but Patterson, truly one to forget for Patterson and the entire Atlanta team. To be perfectly honest, Patterson was one of the Falcons' best players in this one. He had, what did he have? He had 4 rushes for 25 yards and 1 catch for 14. They just look pathetic. I don't know that there was an injury. If there was an injury, they're not talking about it like as if there's anything to worry about. So I'd say no for right now, but we'll monitor that. Mark, you can bet your bottom dollar and get the text line. Mark's on my text line. Mark's going to text me about what he's got to do going into week 11, and so could you, just by going to heysmitty.com. Order my one-on-one text service. Thoughts on Schultz? Roll with Michael Gallup back. Schultz just needs time. I think he'll be fine. He started off on a tear, but Dalton Schultz is definitely a tight end I'm excited about going forward. He only had 2 targets, 1 catch, 14 yards. But I think, the week before, 4 catches, 54. I think he could be a guy that gets heavily involved later. At least to the point where you could, if you've got Kittle and he's an injury risk, and you don't know if Kittle's volume is going to be consistent either. Sometimes he blocks and he doesn't get a lot done. So I would much prefer banking on Schultz and trading Kittle away, like in the example we talked about earlier. Like you could trade a Kittle and what was the example we had? Kittle and I forget what it was. For trying to get Jamar Chase. Like, try and get Jamar Chase. Try and get DK Metcalf, who, yes, he got ejected. Ken disappointed his owner. Try and use Kittle if you've got, like, Schultz and Kittle, or you've got Schultz as that tight end too. Trade away your starter. Try and get yourself in a position to where you can benefit another lineup spot and then go grabbing a different tight end. Okay, so Terry Roberts has a voice message.
That like button, please.
Lamb the like button.
Let's do this.
Terry says lamb the like button.
Congratulations, those of us that got W's this week. Those of us that did not, there's always next week.
Congrats from Terry on your W. If you got it, thank you, Terry. Appreciate you, good buddy. Rock out. Oh, that's old. Anybody have any other voice messages? Leave them right here.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
If you got any voice messages, drop them, and I will do my best to get back to you right now. And I'll try if I end up, going through the rest of the show and I don't hear it, I might try and still reply to you. So don't take offense if I don't see it though. Rock out. To answer your question, Rock out, I still like Schultz. I don't really know how I feel about Gallup hurting anybody. Like, Gallup has a tough time staying healthy, so I'm not too concerned as of right now. Derek Lincoln was winning this week until I just played the Patrick Mahomes and Hill owner. Now I lost this week. Would have won if I had played Stevenson over J-Rob. I'm sorry, good buddy. Appreciate you. Diggs had a breakout game, says Blackbeard. He certainly did. He looked fantastic, and hopefully that continues. Hopefully he continues to drop massive amounts of points all over the field on a weekly basis. Smitty traded DJ Moore for Sutton and T. Higgins. Trade DJ Moore for Sutton and T. Higgins. I'd probably rather have DJ Moore and the upside of DJ Moore, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I actually really like T. Higgins too, so I could go either way. We don't know about Damien Harris, bro. It's way too early to know. This sounds like no offense, Abdallah. This sounds like a Damien Harris owner coming into a Ramondre. Hold on. This sounds like a Damien Harris owner coming into a Ramondre Stevenson party. Hey, just a quick question. I know the game just ended and Stevenson just had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. But is Damien Harris playing next week? I'm not making fun of you, bro. I'm just laughing because I can sense it. You're a Damien Harris owner. You need to know, is it time to let the idea go that this guy is still a starter? We don't know if he's still a starter. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what Bill Belichick is even doing. He says he's the Stevenson owner. So you're saying this more in the reverse psychology sense. So this is you panicked. You want to know, you worst case scenario, Smitty. I'm thinking the worst. Is Damien Harris playing next week? I need to know. It just sounded like a Damien Harris owner. Excuse me. I have a question. Is this the Damien Harris chat room? Am I in the right place? Rock out with the message.
Hey everybody, let's get this channel to 10,000 by the end of the week. Share from Bob from accounting, anybody at the bank, anybody at the 7-Eleven. Let's share it. Let's get it to 10,000 by the end of the week. Let's get it.
Let's get it. 10K by the end of the week. You heard Rock Out. We're almost there. We've got less than 500. We have like 400 subs maybe, and then we're at 10K, and then things just get bigger from there. Bigger operation, more live streams. Maybe I go to a daily show Monday through Friday. I just need you all to keep punching the thumbs up, keep sharing it. Let people know. Oh, G Bunny, I'm sorry. Let people know about the channel. If you can't let your direct league mates know in one league, you're telling me that in your little work league, you value the competition, the domination that much, you can't share it with Bob from accounting. You can't walk into it like Rock Out said, a 7-Eleven and just go, you watch the fantasy football show? Here, let me get a pen. I'm gonna solve your problems, bro. There are tons of ways to share it. Your girlfriend or fiance's buddies at a dinner that you're never going to see these guys again, but they're a bunch of dudes wrapped around a TV watching a game. You go, have you watched the fantasy football show? There are 100 ways to share it. You don't have to share it in every scenario. I know you don't want to in some scenarios, but get creative and bring people in. Let them know how popular you all are on a show like this. You're a part of a community. You should be proud. Share it. Wear it like a badge. Okay, G Money. I give Diggs and Swift. I get Eckler, Eli Mitchell, Gronk, and Kirk. Diggs and Swift, you get Eckler, Eli Mitchell, Gronk. Don't do it. Call it off. That's a no-go, bro. Smitty disapproved. Why? Because Swift looks good.
Smitty disapproved.
And for everybody that's going to say, Smitty, you didn't like Swift. What, now you like him? Things change. Things evolve. Do you want me not to tell you when I feel differently about a player? Not to mention, he's been a very good buy low that I've been telling you to buy low for weeks now. Get Swift and a wide receiver like the Christian McCaffrey trade. You trade McCaffrey, you get Swift and Hill, or get Swift and Diggs, or get Swift and Lamb, or whatever, because Swift does have the potential of being a top 5 to 10 running back in a running back climate that's shrinking by the day. It's shrinking by the day, and Swift is vaulting up. Now, he's still very big injury risk. He's still got 32 carries or something and like 6 targets or whatever. It was like about 40 total looks, and he still didn't get a touchdown, and he still only scored like under 20 points, and he had like literally 40 potential opportunities. And so clearly there's a disadvantage playing for this Lions organization and this offense, but he still got a ton of upside. And so with this deal, Diggs and Swift for Eckler and Eli Mitchell, my concern with Eli Mitchell is that he may not be the starter 3 weeks from now. We don't really know what's in store for Eli Mitchell. This is Kyle Shanahan. This is the 49ers falling apart franchise right now that may bounce back. I'm not saying there's not hope. I've got a lot of Niner people, and you know I'm speaking the truth. It's a mess there. You don't know what to trust. You don't know where to turn. You don't know when it's going to turn around. You don't know what you're looking at 2 weeks from now, let alone tomorrow night. I don't know if Mitchell's going to be standing, the one standing in 2 or 3 weeks from now. And because Swift is arguably where Eckler is, like Eckler, you draft him more, ahead of Swift, sure. Like, I'd take Eckler in a heartbeat over Swift. But Swift is in the conversation, and because you're getting Diggs over Mitchell and the other stuff, it's not a question for me. So I'm going to say on that side. Javonte for Devonta Smith, 12-team PPR. I have Eckler, Monty, Carter, Sanders, running backs. I have Ridley, Hopkins, Bateman, Ayuk. This could go either way, bro. I'm just going to tell you right now. Currently, pretty even. I like Devonta Smith. I love Devonta Smith in the offseason. Him and Jamar Chase, they're on my bold predictions. They're on my bold predictions board. I list like 12 or 13 bold predictions every year. I have both of them on my bold prediction board. I love both wide receivers. Devonta Smith's got a bright future. People have kind of forgotten because they've seen Jamar Chase blow up so quickly. They're worried. They think, oh, this guy maybe is the real deal because he's not doing what Jamar Chase is doing. Now we're seeing what he's doing, and we're like, okay, a little bit of taste of what Jamar Chase has given us, and now we're feeling excited about both wide receivers for the future. We're still more excited about Jamar Chase, but we're starting to see what Devonta Smith could maybe do if he's supported properly. So this is a pretty even trade right now. If Javonte gets into the lineup, bro, I'm just going to tell you, you're going to log on to the channel. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be prepared. Don't get mad at me. If Javonte does eventually get vaulted into the lineup and Gordon's out, you're going to have me going, I wouldn't do this trade in a redraft league if Javante's the man. He's currently not the man, so it's a pretty even trade. I'd say trust your gut. It's really 50-50 at this point, bro. Drop Gainwell. Is Jarrett Patterson a good stash? I probably hold Gainwell. He's very similar to Stevenson and Benjamin in the fact that he could eventually get a hold of the job. I don't think Patterson's a guy that I'm dropping Gainwell for. Would I drop Gainwell for Benjamin? Probably. Would I drop Gainwell for Stevenson? If you ask me that question, I'm going to tell you to take a big fat lap. Would I drop Gainwell for, I don't know, some player I'm never going to play? Probably not, because I think Gainwell has the potential. But Patterson, I'm not worried about Patterson. If it's dynasty, it might be a little bit of a different question or a different answer, but I don't think that was dynasty. Avi says he left a message. Avi, hold on. Joel left one. Joel, here we go.
Yo, Smitty. Thanks
Joel.
for the advice on buying Mahomes low.
Attaboy.
W this week.
Attaboy.
Go.
I forget what Joel we talked about specifically. You could paste it in the chat and I'll drag it on screen. But Joel went after Mahomes. Mahomes. I just think Mahomes has been figured out, Smitty. Mahomes looks figured out. No, it was time to buy. I told you the window would close. The window is completely closed. It's glued shut. It's nailed shut. It's totally unopenable. You can't open the window anymore. The window is closed. The opportunity, the buying window is closed for Mahomes, for Kelsey, for Hill. Three of my favorite go-get players from last week's buy low, sell high video. You bought Mahomes and Kelsey and Hill, you may have just won your championship because people were selling all three of them at stupid, silly pricing. And people knee-jerk reacting after even 4 or 5 straight weeks when you have a sample size in front of that. Week 1, what did I tell you last week? Week 1, Mahomes, 3 TDs. Mahomes, week 2, 3 TDs. Week 3, 3 TDs. Week number 4, 5 TDs. We had the sample size. I don't understand why anybody was willing to draw a conclusion about Patrick Mahomes being figured out or dropping off, or let's talk about him next year. He is capable of single-handedly winning any week at any time and winning you a championship. So those of you that bought Mahomes low, congrats. You might have just bought yourself a seat to the big game, your championship game. And that's an awesome job. Sorry, I'm late to the show, finishing up an essay that is due in an hour. This guy offering me Mike Williams and Waller for Dillon. That's not that bad. Like, I wouldn't say it like this guy, like you're going to disown the friendship. Like, Waller's busting right now. And I don't know that I'm buying him at any kind of like crazy pricing or even medium. Like, I'll buy him low. Mike Williams, not a good week. But I still love both of these players in a buy low environment. Dillon is sell high. You are right not to sell him I-Song. I also would not sell Dillon for that, but I am saying I do like Williams and Waller, but no, I don't think so. Not for Dillon. What's he?
Get lamb.
He's trying to lamb you, bro, but you know better because you're I-Song, and you can do anything I-Song. You put your mind to it. That's why you got Dillon on your roster, broski. Appreciate you. I-Song for the super chat. You're the man. Let's go to Avi. Avi had a message he wanted me to play. Avi, hold on, boy. I'm going to find you, buddy. Avi. Where's Avi's message? Avi. Here we go.
How concerned should I be with Justin Herbert and TJ Hawk? I am pretty concerned.
I mean, they're panic chamber, Avi. They are panic chamber material for sure. I mean, Herbert's capable of dropping 403 a week after dropping a bad game. The problem, I guess, I would have, if I'm being honest about Herbert right now, is that could he be up and down all year? Like, could he drop 403 like I'm saying, and then I get excited, and we get excited, and we all think, okay, he's back? Or are the Chargers going to be up and down? Like, will we have these games? Will we have a couple more of these games? Will we have 2 or 3 really good Herbert games, but we're pretty much saying to ourselves we fully expect another 2 games where they're bad? I love Herbert. I don't think he's a bust at all. Like, Herbert is goat punch you in the throat material, MVP potential material. I don't think it's happening right now. I don't think he'll become an MVP candidate anymore, because even if he had a couple big games, well, I guess it depends. I mean, the Chargers. I mean, let's look at the division. Because, I mean, there's still potential here. This division's kind of up for grabs. Let me pull up the standings here. So I shouldn't say he couldn't get MVP honors. Like, if he was to go on a tear, we still got a lot of time left. And this division here, let me pull up the division, the wins and losses here. Why won't anything load? I swear, I restarted everything. It was all looking good. Okay. So you have 5 and 4. Yeah, let me put the screenshot this. Kansas City 6 and 4. Chargers 5 and 4, Raiders 5 and 4, Broncos 5 and 5. It's very much up for grabs. I mean, I would say that if Herbert could potentially turn things around, if Herbert did, I think he still could be MVP. Talked about MVP candidate type material, but it's definitely concerning. Like, I'm concerned. Is he in the panic chamber, Herbert? Probably. Would I buy him inside the panic chamber? I would. If the price is right, I would buy him. Am I potentially looking to upgrade Herbert in leagues where I think I might be able to get away with buying low on somebody? I might look to do it. I might look to get out of the potential up and down that is Herbert right now. But would I be shocked if Herbert bounced back and didn't fall back down? No, I would not. Let me answer a couple more questions here. We got 240 in the room. Please hit the thumbs up if you're just joining us.
Hey, Smitty, would you trade Darrell Henderson for 2 second-round picks in 2023 Dynasty?
I would trade Darrell Henderson for those if I liked losing. If I was really into losing, rock out, I would trade Darrell Henderson for measly, worthless second-round picks. I'm not a big second-round pick guy. Like, I trade them away all the time. If I've got 2 second-round picks, 2022 and 2023, I'll toss them both together and try and attempt to get like a Hollywood Brown before he, fully gets accepted as the his bounce back level that he's at right now. I'm trying to, like, right now, I'd trade 2 second-round picks to get Mike Williams and try and retain some of that win now value that I think Mike Williams could have. I use second round picks for shot in the dark players that could help me now and maybe help me later, but they're kind of like veteran meal tickets for me. I'm recording this on here and talking to you, so you have it. And then I just hit the button and let go. Sorry. So no. Let's listen to your second question.
And also, Smitty got a trade in Dynasty for MT, and I would get a first-round pick in 2022.
If you think it's going to be potentially at least middle round, I probably would take it. I don't know that I trust MT right now. I feel like you can move a first-rounder. Second-rounders, I don't care about second-rounders. And Darrell Henderson's worth more than MT. So I'm a little shocked at that value, like, and wonder if more people feel the same way. It's not that you're wrong. I'm just a little shocked by it. Like, Henderson has less value. You're willing to get second rounders for Henderson, but would require a first rounder for MT. Henderson still got upside, and I know Akers is coming back. I get it. That's probably why you're doing it. But Henderson still got good upside, and it's not worth getting rid of for second round material. Would I trade Darrell Henderson for a mid second or mid first rounder? Maybe. It depends on my team build. Depends on what I think I can get with it. But I mean, this whole Akers situation, everybody getting all excited about Akers. He could come back this year. If Akers came back this year, he would get injured. It would be the dumbest move he could ever make, is to try and come back from an Achilles injury the same year he tore it, when nobody even comes back from Achilles injuries. And he's injury prone. So it would be the dumbest move he could make. And I'm not on board this Akers is going to return to his job and be as productive as he used to be, which was for a very short period of time. We don't even know what he was. We don't even know that he was, we had a good idea he was going to be potentially great in this offense. Maybe, yeah, if he stayed healthy. But I didn't think he'd stay healthy, and Akers was one of my biggest avoid running backs, and he got hurt. And people can say what they want, like, you can't predict injury, that's stupid, you didn't predict that, you got lucky. He's injury prone. And he's coming back from an Achilles tear. Trying to come back early should tell you maybe why he's a little injury prone, because he doesn't make good decisions with his body and rushes himself along. Name one running back, and I know he's younger than any running back example we probably have, but name one running back. Somebody name one that is recovered from a torn Achilles that has then gone on to play elite fantasy football. And again, I know that we don't have a big sample size, and most people tearing their ACL, tear their Achilles, they're older, but that should also maybe make you question it. Like, why did he get hurt this young tearing? If it's an injury that a lot of younger running backs don't get, why did he get it? Is that pointing to the injury risk and injury proneness that is Akers, or was it freak? And if it's freak, why doesn't it happen more often though? And number two, name one player that has bounced back from an Achilles tear. Deontay Foreman does not count because he's not good. He doesn't do anything. He's never. My question is, name one running back. Marlon Mack came back from an Achilles tear, but he hasn't done anything since. Name one running back that has come back from an Achilles tear injury, a full Achilles tear, that has played elite football. Somebody name one. And I know that there's outliers. There's eventually one person breaks the trend, and he's younger. I get that. But he's also younger getting an Achilles tear, which might tell you a little bit about his body. But somebody name one running back that has come back from an Achilles tear. I might be missing one. I'm truly asking, is there even a running back that I'm forgetting about that has come back from an Achilles tear to play elite fantasy football? I would love to know. KD, Rudy, obviously not running backs, but high school athletes. I know. I want to know running back. I want to know a running back that has torn his Achilles tendon. Derek, I don't think AP ever suffered a torn Achilles tendon. I don't think he's only ACL, bro. You're thinking ACL. Sports medicine is different nowadays. Well, it's going to be the first time we see it, Louis. And then if it creates a new trend, then by all means we'll follow the trend. But it's like we're trying to predict that this is gonna, it's just not. I mean, we're trying to predict that we're on the verge of a medical breakthrough. Like, I'm not doing that with Akers, bro. He's very injury prone. I'm not going near Akers. I'm not going near him. I'm down 19 with Kupp and the Rams D to go, win or loss. Give me a win. I'd rather have Kupp and the Rams D and be down 19 than to be facing Kupp and the Rams D. Okay, so let's roll with Kevin Durant did it again. Running back. I'm asking for a running back. I'm asking for running back, and I don't even know Durant's story, to be honest, so I'm not even sure to speak on that. But I'm talking about a running back taking the grind and the cutting and everything that goes on with the running back. What's up, Thomas? What's up, pal? Appreciate you. Traded in 3 weeks. Claypool and Herbert for Mike Williams and AJ Dillon. Oh, you did that 3 weeks ago. Nice work, pal. All right, guys. That is our waiver wire show. Smitty, should I drop AJ Brown? Why, Nick? Why would you drop AJ Brown, broski? Are you just mad at him right now? Or are you just venting? What is making you say such a thing like this to me right now at, what is it? It's near 1 a.m. Eastern time after the Monday Night Football game, and you're going to drop this kind of thing right before we leave. Speaking so ill about A.J. Brown. Javonte had only 48 yards, people, but he had a nice, I don't know if it was a 20 or 30-yard touchdown run called back. Absolute just sadness when that thing got called back. Just complete sadness. Just makes me sad. Drop A.J. Brown because you don't deserve him if you want to drop him. Nick's kidding, but I don't know why Nick said that. You don't think... I would set him on a lap, but I don't think he's serious. He's just mad at him. Derek says, you don't think you add Wayne Goldman to your list, Smitty? Yeah. I mean, I didn't go super deep on it, so I would say he definitely belongs. If you want him, grab him right around this range. 15 times, rushed 15 times for 55 yards for the Falcons. We'll put Goldman on here. Yeah, Goldman looked pretty good. I don't really know. I don't think Cordell Patterson got hurt though, so I'm not going to vault him up really high, but I'll put him on this list where these other guys are. Sure. So we'll put Goldman right here. That's a good one. I like that. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I want to send DK on a lap today, bro. We all do. You got to stay composed. You got to do your job. You can't just go. You can't get all out of control like that. DK very, very disappointed. Very disappointed. Smitty, it's quesadilla season. It absolutely is. It's 100%. 100% quesadilla time. It's Big Daddy Dillon time. Get ready for it. It's happening. This is a thing. And we've got Nick in the Nick, no apology needed on that. You don't need to apologize, Nick. Your boy McCaffrey already going to the tent. It happens, bro. High ankle sprain, bro. It could be. I don't know. I have to see the report on that before I'll. Let me look at Patterson real quick. I don't see any information on it right now that makes me feel confident that those reports are totally legit. The last report I see is that Patterson will look to rebound next week. There's nothing that indicates that Patterson is hurt right now, from what I can tell. Dillon, top 8 running back. If that comes out, I'll certainly update you tomorrow. Don't worry. Dillon, a top 8 running back while Aaron Jones is out, more than likely. Yeah, he's easily top 8 running back. I mean, he's got top 5 to 10 running back potential. Top 5 to 10 running back potential. No doubt about it. The question is, how long will A.J. Dillon be out? Probably looking at least, I would say, 4 to 6 weeks at a minimum. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Punch the thumbs up on your way out the door. And please, please, please ask a question in the comments. I will answer every single question that I get to tonight. So ask away. Yeah, I'll update you tomorrow. Appreciate you very much. And let's